Hello and welcome to another session of Therapy and Panels and the beginning of Villains Month. You know the old saying, they say that a hero is only as good as their villain. And for the beginning of this month, we will be seeing that with The Ghost. Created by David Michelina and Bob Layton, The Ghost is an inventor who made a suit allowing him to become invisible and walk through walls. Some of you may know the gender bent role from the Ant-Man and the Wasp, played by Hannah John Kamen, and the soon returning to this big screen in the Thunderbolts. But the character started off as an Iron Man villain. So let's just see if the gender bent rules made a difference as we take a look at Iron Man issue 219 and the introduction of the Ghost. The cover is pretty decent with the white background working well for the Ghost being invisible fighting Iron Man here. It's a really nice touch. We begin in California with Tony taking a jog, listening to some notes made by his secretary. But in my honest opinion, I think we all know what he is really listening to. Folks, if the Earth was really round, then how come we haven't fallen to the bottom yet? Also, if I may just say a little something here, is it really necessary to draw Tony this jacked? I mean, this is a guy who uses technology as mind as his weapons to fight. So while I have no problem with him being fit, I don't see the necessary things for him to be a bodybuilder here. Anyway, he then gets picked up by Rhodey, as he is going to be late for a meeting to see about obtaining a company called Accutech. But before they can head in, he has to handle a wildfire by the building before he arrives, making a trench and covering it with fire retardant, taking it easily down. He then makes it to the meeting, learning about a beta particle generator and how Roxxon tried to make a bid for the company but were denied. I'm sure they took that rejection well. Other buyers have been scared off, and this man named Abe Zimmer claims it's because of the Ghost, who many people believe to be a hacker's tale, and others claiming Zimmer's just going senile. Boomers, am I right, Mr. Stark? Sometime later at night, Zimmer is working late in the night when his computer pops up a message supposedly by the Ghost warning him to keep his mouth shut. Don't worry, Zimmer. I've had random messages pop up like that before in my lifetime. No, seriously. Story for another day. Later on the next day, Tony is taken out a loan at the bank to help with things since he has had to use his own fortunes to rebuild Stark Enterprises. And going off of this panel, I think he may have gotten that loan. Anyway, we then return to Accutech as Tony is finishing up obtaining the company. While in the security room, things are going weird with items floating midair and labs activating by themselves. Well, only one thing to do at a time like this. One of the guards gets thrown back, so the other activates an alarm, alerting Tony, who quickly changes into Iron Man to handle the problem. He runs a scan through the area, realizing that infrared scans don't pick up anything, so he switches to sonics, picking up a heartbeat behind him and officially being introduced to the Ghost. The guy runs through a wall to escape, but joke's on him, as Tony can do this also. Oh yeah! They both end up in a room full of machinery, messing with Tony's sonics, but he decides to increase them, making it painful for unshielded ears, which works, as the Ghost is now visible when the guards arrive. But before he is grabbed, the Ghost throws a bomb, forcing Iron Man to shield everyone and making his escape, but not before leaving a message for Iron Man, declaring his boss, Tony Stark, is next on his hit list, ending the issue. And that was the introduction of the Ghost, and for my diagnosis, this was decent. We get a good look at the business side of things for Tony, which is a decent thing to separate from the action scenes, and to see how Tony's character development has gone. And when it comes to the action scenes, it's a unique thing to see about how someone can handle a guy that can turn invisible and walk through walls. It is a nice enemy that can go toe-to-toe with someone like Iron Man, and it shows just how scary this guy can be. And that was the end of today's session. I'd like to thank you all for attending. If you liked the video, please be sure to leave a like, comment, and subscribe. And as always, I am the Super Guru, signing off.